Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is a pre-recorded, pre-Europa League Europa special. It's time for Evening Brews. So I'm with my Achi, my brother Amir. First of all, Amir Achi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Dagul. I'm really looking forward to the kickoff of the Europa League tomorrow night. I got myself a ticket. I got my dad a ticket as well. I'm going to bring him down to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to being back in Europe.
So before I hand over to you, because this is going to be your baby today, you're going to do it. When you should have got your ticket and done the Christian Gross and said, "I have a ticket. I have a ticket." But Amir, we wanted to do something about the Europa League, and you were saying this is something you were very excited about doing, and it was great to be able to get you back on the channel. I'm going to hand the reins of the show over to you, buddy.
All right. Well, look, Daigle, I mean, I know you know your history and you know Spurs. Okay, maybe not in our lifetime, right? But if you look at generations before us, we were winning things in Europe. We were winning the UEFA Cup, the Cup Winners' Cup. We have a long legacy in Europe. And for me, Tottenham Hotspur is a club that always needs to be battling in Europe. And particularly, this competition is a very, very interesting one. The Europa League, in the way that it's changed this season, I think it gives us even more of a chance to go out and really try and win it. I don't know what your thoughts on it. The fact that teams don't drop down from the Champions League into it anymore, I think that's going to help us. When you're looking at some of the sides that are, top sides in it, yeah, they're really good sides, but that's how we're going to test ourselves against your Galatasarays, against your Romas. There's some really good sides in there, Daigle. So I think it's a huge opportunity for us to go out there and compete in Europe on the big stage and try and bring a trophy home. And talked about winning trophies in his second year. I think this, out of all the four competitions that we're in, is the one for me that we can really go all out for. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it.
So first of all, I will say I am old enough, but I was too young to remember. Being born in '79, I was alive in the '84 UEFA Cup with the penalty shootout winner at White Hart Lane. And I've obviously seen the highlights and everything, but my dad always tells me the story. In 1981, the day Ricky Villa scored that goal in the FA Cup final in the replay, he said, "That's the quickest I've ever smashed a bottle of whiskey down." And he said, then he goes on to say, well, until 1984, where I topped it on that night. So you're right. Listen, I've spoken to my dad on many times, my late grandfather, about Spurs teams and Europa, or just cup competitions, period. To me, this tournament, for me, is the goose that lays the golden egg. Because on many ways, first of all, like you said, completely agree, Spurs are a team that should be in Europe every season, by hook or by crook, whether it be via league position or actually doing something, i.e. winning a trophy. But that should be a minimum request for Spurs fans or the Spurs owners, manager, whatever. But for why I say it's the goose that lays the golden egg this year is, first of all, I don't believe we're getting Champions League football by league position. I just don't think we can get their top four. But I think we can do in the Europa League. And I also think, like you said, it's massive that for the first time, third place in the Champions League doesn't mean you drop down and get your lifeline and join in the Europa League. Yes, there are some very, very tough teams. There's some very tough away days. I mean, you're going to Galatasaray, which is probably one of the toughest of the toughest, just based on the hostility. There is a real opportunity here to end the trophy drought, which Spurs fans want, and to get top four that the fans and the ownership want. So this is, for me, the cup. This is the competition, including the Premier League, that I want us to take with the utmost respect and the utmost seriousness.
Mm. Yeah, no, I hear that, and I hope that we see a lineup that equates to what we're hoping for here with the Europa League. For me, we just snuck over the line at Coventry. That we nearly had a big banana peel up there with the 8-9 changes that And made. And I'm hoping. Look, I'm not against making a tweak or two in that starting lineup, but I think there needs to be a certain base that what we worked with against Brentford needs to be there. The backbone of that team needs to be pretty much the same for me. And I'm hoping that all the boys are going to be up for it, and that Ange realizes that this is, like you said, it's not just an opportunity to win a European trophy and bring some silverware home, but it's also an opportunity to qualify for the Champions League, which is huge, which is absolutely massive. So yeah, for me, it's a massive night tomorrow night. You've got to kick it off well. We've got opponents that are all the way from over in Azerbaijan. We've played them once before. We did all right against them, but we can't take it lightly. They're going to come. They're going to, be up for the battle, and we need to be at our best and be clinical to get over the line. Get those.
We do. Listen, we can't take any team lightly. Like you said, Coventry was a very, very key indicator. Our beloved brothers over at We Are Tottenham TV did their build-up, did their starting or predicted 11. And I was watching them live, and I said, if there's one position and you only get one position right, I pray to God that it's Vicario in goal. For me, like you said, this is a home tie. This is I'm with you. I would, if there's 3 or 4 tweaks, okay, that's fine. That's rotating game management. We've got to remember, games are coming thick and fast now. This isn't just, it's the first round of the Carabao Cup. You've now got to think United away on Sunday, Europe the week after, Brighton the weekend after that. So game management is massive. Vicario for me has to start. And you've got to remember, like I think we saw at Coventry, when that team news is announced and it's released, the tension, or not, tension's the wrong word, I'll take that back. The atmosphere, obviously, if we're fielding a very strong team or an attacking team, those fans are going to be like, right, let's do it. We're up for it, blah, blah, blah. If they see a whole host of changes again and we get off to a start like that, I mean, for me, the most vital, and I do mean vital, player in that starting 11 is Vicario for me. What about you, Amir?
So yeah, I agree with you. Vicario, he's head and shoulders above Forster. But for me, the kind of key to keeping our attacking play flowing and the creativity, for me, it's all about the midfield. I want to keep the midfield the same. So, I think if you have Maddison, Bentancur and Kulu in there, that gives you a lot of legs and a lot of energy in the midfield, a lot of creativity as well, with Maddison and Kulu in there. So for me, that's key. I don't really think you need to be playing with that. And then in terms of game management, I really agree with you. I think that at the end of the day, this is a game that, potentially, we could be 2 goals up by half time. Hopefully, if we're clinical and we're creating chances, there's no reason we shouldn't be. And in that case, that's when you can start, bringing your Mikey Moores on. You can start giving your minutes to your Greys and players there that need a few minutes. Bergval, I'd love to see Bergval tomorrow. I'd love to see him. So, if the boys can get it done professionally, we may get a chance to see some of those players that are out on the fringes and give them a few minutes and see how they get on in a European tie.
Well, the thing I'll add to that is as well, you look at it and Bentancur is an ace right now. And the reason I say he's an ace is at the time of the recording, and this is Wednesday evening at 9:41 UK time, Bentancur's ban hasn't been set in stone. It's 6, 7, whatever the amount of games, but we know it's coming. That doesn't rule him out of Europe. So when you have a player who's obviously banned for an extensive period, the ability to give him game time. So it can keep a Bissouma fresh. It can keep a Gray fresh for what do. So So I agree. The midfield is key. James Maddison, who I've been very critical of, was incredible on Saturday.
Best player on the park, I'd say.
Yeah, he was. I think Bentancur was running him close until he went off. Bentancur, but also that was Ange playing the wing backs or full backs in Destiny and Porro out wide and making them stay out there rather than coming in. Yeah, this midfield we're finding that right combination, and then up top, I think we'd all want to see Mikey more, and I think he will get minutes. I think he gets minutes. If I had to say, there's a surprise starter in that starting 11, I would say Mikey. I think Bergvall will start, but we're gonna have to wait and see, here, aren't we? I mean, how many, if you were the lineup, how many changes do you expect or would you want?
Do you know, I'm in that range of 3 or 4 for me is enough. I'd be happy with 3. I think 4 is kind of the maximum for me. I think if you start going above that 5, 6, 7 changes, I think then you're taking out the core of the team, the fluidity. And we saw that again, with Coventry, with all those changes. We weren't as fluid as we usually are. We weren't as creative. We just simply weren't as good as we've looked in the Prem. So for me, it's 3 or 4. I'd maybe bring Archie Gray on for Porro, give Porro a little rest.
Right back, good shout.
Yeah, play him at right back. Give Porro a little rest, and then obviously Radu's going to have to come in for Romero.
Correct.
Who's suspended. Yeah, and then for me, that's you could do your Doggy and Davies maybe as well, give you Doggy a bit of a break, but
so this is a question I was about to ask you, Amir, and we'll ask the people in the chat. Obviously, this will be premiered. This isn't live. That's why none of the chats or your chat that you're having right now has been brought up. Dragusin starts for Romero. Now, do you see Van der Ven starting at centre back or Davies? And do you see Destiny starting or Davies? Which one would you rather? If Davies is going to play, are you rather he plays at centre back and we have Destiny, or he plays at left back and we have Mickey?
Yeah, no, I think you've got to have Mickey in there for that solidity at the back. You play Mickey and Radu there, then I'm feeling confident, that we can be solid at the back. You put Ben out on the left, he can do a job out there. He'll do a job for us. He's done it in the past. But I wouldn't be too disappointed to see you Doggy get the start as well at the same time,
Well, this is where we are. I mean, you look at it, and we've seen Radu and Romero. They're both right-sided centre-backs. When Drago's played left, he hasn't looked right, blah, blah, blah. We've seen this partnership or that partnership. What a great occasion and great time to say, right, okay, we've got our left-sided centre-back, our number 1. And obviously, Radu is there as the second choice right centre-back or whatever terminology you want to use. I'd love to see that partnership and see what they can do.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. Be very interesting to see. And look, at the end of the day, this is one of those games where, the performance matters, but the 3 points matter even more. You know what I mean? You start the competition, you want to get over the line. So, you want to have that defensive stability in there. And for me, when you have Mickey in that, Mickey alone, he just calms my nerves. You get that extra bit of pace he has. He's looked phenomenal all the whole start of the season. We just got to keep him fit. That's it, really, because every time he goes for a run, I tell you what, I'm worried about those hamstrings. The way he goes flying into tackles as well. He puts everything on the line, does Mickey? So he
does. Amir, this is the thing. What you got to look at as well. I find when people say, give Mickey a rest, we need to wrap him up in cotton wool. Yes, I understand it, and yes, I agree with it. But I also think there's all this resting, recovery, resting, starting. Hamper him. Like, he gets into a flow, then it's like, take a rest. Like, some people get better the more regular they pay and build up. It's very fine lines with Mickey, isn't it? Don't get me wrong. For me, he's the most important player in the starting 11 because of what he brings to the high line, everything. It's a tough one of how you manage Mickey's minutes, isn't it?
It is. It's a tricky one. But for me, you want to get over the line, you stick him in that defence. He's just going to give us that extra bit of stability for me.
Yeah, listen. I hope we see him tomorrow. We should see him tomorrow.
We should.
We should. And let's not forget, even though they've got the nickname or the fun name Qarabag, they come into this in a bit of form. They are 3 wins on the bounce. Listen, I don't know any of the players, not a single one of them. But what we all speak about is how we've disrespected cups, and thought we're the mighty Tottenham, and then obviously come back and bite us in the arse. They'll be on their A game tomorrow, haven't they?
Well, that's the thing. You can't take these kind of matches lightly. They're gonna come. They're gonna be professional. They're gonna, I'm imagining their tactics. They're probably gonna try and park the bus and hit us on counters because they've seen that can be, an effective strategy against us. That's what I would do if I was, looking at how to beat Spurs. And yeah, it's going to be about how we break them down. You're looking at the likes of your Madisons, your Kulusevskis. Are they going to be at, in full flight? Are they going to be creating chances left, right, and centre? I hope so, because that's what we need for this system to work. You need those creative players really getting on the ball, providing balls for your front three, for the wingers, for Dom. And wouldn't it be great for him to get another goal? It'd be huge. He did well getting off the mark. Yeah, it was a tap in, but they all count. Look, you've got to be in the right place as a striker. And
you do. I will say with this as well, Dominic Solanke, I was very impressed once again with his movement off the ball, his hold-up play. Yes, he's going to have to bring more goals. Yes, it was a tap-in, but thank God he was there for the tap-in. But listen, people go, it was an injury-depleted Brentford. It was this, it was that. It may well have been, but his movement and his hold-up play and his pressing is something that we were desperately missing last season.
Yeah.
And I think tomorrow could be a bit. Can you imagine? He gets a couple of goals or a goal and assist or whatever, and then he goes up to Old Trafford. Could be in great form.
Yeah, 100%. And look, same goes for Johnson. He's got two for two now. Can he go and add to it? It's the perfect game for these players. It really, really is. It's the perfect game to go and stamp your authority on this team and say, nail down your position. I want to be playing week in, week out. I want to be the one scoring the goals. I want to be the one assisting. And I think it could be a huge night for the likes of Johnson, Solanke. And, look, our star man, Sonny, when you've got him in the team, I'm hoping he's going to start. I think you've always got, somebody that can make something out of nothing and do a bit of magic and provide for the team. So, yeah, I'm really excited about it, Dagul. And, we're back in Europe. We had a break, but we're back where we should be. And long may that continue, because that's where Tottenham Hotspur need to be, year in, year out.
Correct. First of all, where are you sitting for the game?
I think I'm up in the east somewhere. Yeah.
Nice. And like you said, it's brilliant to be back in Europe. Obviously, it's Thursday nights. We'd rather the Wednesdays or the Tuesdays. Hopefully, they'll come. But yeah, it should be a good game.
Yeah.
Should be. It's going to be weird hearing that Europa. I think there's new Europa League music that we may not have heard because of our year. So it's a new theme tune. And yeah, let's just hope we win. There's no injuries. I mean, score prediction, Amir. What are you going for?
Do you know what? I'm gonna be nice and positive. I'm gonna go with a 4-1 victory.
You go 4-1.
Yeah,
Okay, so you've got a little bit more emphatic than me by one goal. I'm going to say 3-1.
3-1.
I'm going to say 3-1. But then, obviously, if we see ring sale changes, then who knows?
But if you look at Ange's comments, though, I don't think he will go like he did with Coventry. I think he's going to only tweak.
I think he's learned, hasn't he?
Yeah, and it's Europe as well. You know what I mean? This is huge. This is a huge competition for us. It's a huge night. We're back on that big stage, and for me, yeah, I can't see him making more than 3-4 changes, really.
Let's hope so.
Come on.
Let's hope so. Well, guys, listen, there you have it, the Europa League preview and discussion and the importance. Amir, thank you for leading it, hosting it. It's always incredible to spend time with you and have you on the channel. We know come the winter, when your work season's a little bit quieter, you will be a lot more active on the
Indeed.
channel, and I cannot wait for that. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your evening. Spurs are back. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, Levy.